today I have with me a very special guest, someone who is multifaceted. He is an artist, he's an entrepreneur, and now a happiness coach. Please put your hands together in welcoming the very versatile, the very talented Clince Varghese.
Yay! Thanks, Ken. What an amazing introduction for me, man. मेरी दादी कहती थी, बेटा देखने वालों की नजर में खूबसूरती होती है. You know, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So whatever she had to say about me has definitely is a reflection of what she is, the kind of person she is. Thanks, Ken, for the kind words. I'm really excited to be a part of the show. And dude, like I told you this off the camera as well. There is Shah Rukh Khan and there is Kenisha and there is COVID. What has happened in the past 3, 4, 5 months is, you know, Kenisha, it's outside the frame. You know, she's just pumped it up. How have you done that, dude? What is the secret? Tell us, how do you scale your brand in these challenging times? How did you do that?
How I did it is that I learned a thing or two from you. I got inspired by you. Now, I really want our viewers to know, Clince, that you have aced so many diverse fields. You know, I mean, everyone knows that I'm not just saying it out of kindness. You are arguably the most energetic, the most lively, entertainers, MCs that we have in the live industry, and the awards that you win are telling of it. You know, so I really want to understand how do you bring this energy to the stage, which is incomparable.
So there are two ways how I look at it, right? I truly believe that what we are is definitely a blessing. It's the genetics, as we say.
Yeah.
So what I am has definitely got to do with what I've got from my parents, the grandparents, and the genetic lineage. Who I am is a choice that I've made. You know, so it doesn't matter what you are blessed with. If you don't work on your blessings, you won't be who you are. So I think it's two things. It's great blessings, great genetics, and then I'm a hustler. I work hard. I want to be a better version than what I was a second ago. So
Right.
I make sure that I am at it. So I think that's one of the reasons. And more importantly, I always say this, our life is made up of, you know, it's like a symphony orchestrated by the blessings of our parents,
Well put.
teachings of our teachers,
Yeah.
and support of our friends. So I think it's that delta nicely put together, and life is good.
Well, one more thing, what you said is completely true. We are a product of so many variables,
Yeah.
some that we control, some that we don't. But the one thing which is a uniform common thread is time management.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, when you do all these things, we know our lives as live performers, very erratic. We have 5 a.m. flights, then we
Yeah.
reach, we are doing rehearsals, we are up, in Clince's case in a tuxedo, and a female entertainer's case in a heels or whatever. It's a difficult life, basically, which is really rigorous and hectic. I want to understand, how do you make time for so many different things, to keep upping the ante? How do you make time?
So, Ken, I look at it this way, right? It's very simple in where I look at it. When you love doing something,
Yeah.
it doesn't pain you. It doesn't hurt you. So it doesn't matter you've not slept, you are constantly on the travel. One day you're in a place, you're in like Jaipur where it's 40, 45 degrees Celsius.
Oh,
The next day you're in Himachal, in Shimla, hosting some other event.
Yeah.
And from there you come to a humid place. You're constantly on the go. You know, you are maybe having a heartbreak during
Yeah.
that time, or you had some financial crunch or personal crunch or whatever. But I think here's what it is, right? I'm going to give you a quick story. So when I was a kid, I come from a very average middle class family. So I still remember one of those Sundays after the church, right?
Yeah,
We used to go to church after the
Yeah.
Sunday mass. I was coming with my dad, and I remember telling him that, Dad, I want to buy this. There used to be these fairy walas.
Yeah.
Is that what you call? Like
Yeah.
these vendors outside the church.
Hawkers.
Hawkers.
Yeah.
Right? So there used to be this guy who would always sell these cotton candies. And I was like, Dad, I want to, please buy me that cotton candy. And he said, you know what? That's not good for your tummy. It's not good. It's not going to be healthy, blah, 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 blah. And I used to think that what a conjuice baap, man. What a stingy father I have. He can't spend 2 rupee on a cotton candy. But today when I look at it, it's not that he was stingy or he couldn't afford that. Maybe one of the ways is that he definitely looked at it as an opportunity to save that 2 rupees, because when you come from that kind of a background, every money saved is every money earned. But today when I look at it, he kind of made me enough to work towards it, to earn it.
Yeah.
So there was a drive. As a kid, my thing was, bhai, bade hoke paise kamana. I want to make
Correct.
money, I want to be rich, I want to,
Have the life.
have the life that I have always wanted. Like, I don't want to tell my kid ki I can't, afford a cotton candy or whatever, right? So it started with when I was a kid, so I call it the story of the penny. That's episode 1. Episode 2 is I was in college, growing up in school, I was a stage person. I realized that the stage kind of gave me a drive. I was on stage, I'd put my hands up, tell people to pump it up. People are dancing, people are killing it, I felt like, wow, man, this is no different than an emperor. The emperor would come, people are like, Azimo Shan Shehenshah. So I used to feel like that. I was like, wow, man, the stage gives me so much sense of power.
Right.
Give me opportunities to travel, to meet interesting people, to have like that sense of accomplishment and empowerment. So I call it, that's when I realized that this is what my passion is. This is what drives me. So then the story of Penny, the story of passion, today when I look at it, in my life, as I started growing up, I realized that this passion it existed because it made me feel a certain way, right?
Sure.
But that made me feel a certain way is a process.
Yes.
True.
True.
There is an impact that I'm able to have on people.
Yeah.
I feel that's the larger goal. It's not about how I feel anymore, that, oh my God, I'm a rock star or whatever.
Yeah.
It's about how I'm able to have an impact on people. So when I realized that the impact is even more larger than how I feel, so now that has become the purpose of my life. So it's the story of the 3 P's, or how I call it as penny, passion, purpose. So for me, I'm very clear. Whatever I do has to be encapsulated within the whole range of the 3 P's. It has to, I should be able to generate some revenue out of it. It should be something that I do that really drives me and also makes me feel that this is the purpose of my life. So everything that I do as an artist or as an entrepreneur or as a coach, so this is how I look at it today. I have the ability, I have the power, the superpower to entertain, educate, and empower people.
Yes.
So that's the goal. That's how, and hence I feel it's not painful. And hence I feel that every 5 a.m. flight or every sleepless night or every heartbroken situation, but yet to go on stage and keep a smile or in front of the camera, do this, like, why right now I'm struggling with my own, other things.
Yes.
But I don't feel like that because I love doing this. I love to talk to my homies in front of the camera. I know that, there are going to be thousands, tens of thousands, lakhs of people, hundreds of thousands of people watching this at some point. And this can be a medium to make them feel empowered, to influence.
Completely. Yeah. I think that's a great insight, the way you encapsulated in the cute thing, the passion, the penny, and the purpose. And I think that is very gratifying because even to look at it from that standpoint, I think is extremely, that just changes the context and makes it so much more, motivating.
Before you go in, I have to ask you this, Ken. The whole world is going gaga about wanting to talk to Ken. Like, we all know that we can connect with you by getting in touch with the Kenisha Vasti app.
Yes.
We can have opportunities to interact with you personally, be it over a call, over messages, through various multimedia ways of connecting with you, right?
Yes.
What is the driving force for you to give people an opportunity to connect with you? I mean, what is it that you really enjoy about the whole process?
I have a certain kind of purpose. I want to create opportunities of employment for myself, for others. I want to curate talent. I want to identify talent. I want to give them like a platform. And I think I want to be a curator of talent. I want to be I want to build IPs, and you can't do that unless for a very strong team. You have to identify the right people. So my purpose is that just be authentic and challenge status quo. Like, just see, even if you have to sit alone, man. But be who you are. That's my drive.
Yeah.
That how much can you push, the envelope? How much can you be yourself?
Yeah.
Whether or not that violates people, or however that may be, it doesn't matter.
I think, that's so true. As an artist, there is always a rebel within us, right? Because we've challenged what our teachers taught us in a way that after a certain age, a certain educational process, you're supposed to go into a very factory system of getting a job, per hour you get paid, per day you get paid, you got to earn, it's an everyday consistent thing. We have challenged those ideas to give our creative self a break, right? Like an outlet. And I think that's so true. I think every creative artist, every creative person in some way or the other is a rebel. When I say rebel, not like against government or against the society in larger ways, but just standing by what he or she feels and believes in, and and doing it. And you're very right. I believe I'm with you on this when you say that if you do things just because it's a trend,
Yeah.
or it's like building a building with a very weak foundation, right? It won't sustain for long.
Now, when we speak of artistry, like we said, it's a very creative field. But it also requires some sort of organization.
100%.
And I think now, in fact, that's my next question. That I think all the entertainers across the world, have really suffered in this Corona phase.
Yeah.
Because suddenly, the world as we know it has changed. Suddenly shoots don't happen for a lot of working actors. Live industry has taken one of the
Major
worst
hit.
hit of all times, and that's going to be a hit that is going to have a ripple effect for the next couple of years, is what they are predicting. So, what do you have to say to entertainers, to performers? How can how can they optimize this lull, this phase, where suddenly it's inactive?
I think you are the right person to answer that, because we have to learn a lot from you in the way how you see. We must understand, right? There is art and there is the commerce of art.
Yes, very
Right.
true.
Like I always say, my security guard of my building
Yeah.
might be a better singer than me, but to commercialize it, to monetize it,
Yeah.
to be able to scale your brand as a singer or as any artist,
Yeah.
it's a commerce. There is a commerce to it. There is a business angle to it, and that is the formula. Your art might not be the formula,
Yeah.
but to make your art bigger, there does exist a formula. And I think there's nobody better than you to kind of just let us know. As I said at the beginning of the session, there is Shah Rukh Khan, there is Kenisha, and then there was COVID, and then we see how you've scaled your brand. So you must kind of tell us how can we monetize our. The funda is simple. If you are a great artist, right? If you are creatively very talented or you're skillful, then you must also have a very good team, or by yourself
Yeah.
build a team which can help you with scaling your creativity.
Yes.
Basically marketing skills. You need like major
Absolutely.
marketing skills into it. And in today's time, I don't think there has been a better option to brand yourself. Like there's social media,
Yeah.
there is all sorts of networks out there through which you can sit at the comfort of your house, be in your own room, and actually, make $1 million worth of business, or even $1 billion worth of business. Like Kylie Jenner, Kim
Oh,
Kardashian.
yes.
We've got the Indian Kim Kardashian with us. This is the
Right.
clickbait. We've got the Indian Kim Kardashian with us, Kenisha.
Thank you, Clince. I couldn't agree more with what you said. This is the age of social media where it's the world, that belongs to the micro creators. I mean, we need to identify the power that we all hold within ourselves.